Turn me up a little bit. Hey, Mr. DJ.
There you go again. Remember what they said last time we started singing?
I don't
You
listen.
forgot the words.
Well, I don't listen to haters. They just
Who's
people.
hatering?
Everybody
Hatering.
that talk about hatering. Hatering. People are just hating on me because they know I can sing.
Yeah, girl, you got a whole bunch of haters just sitting outside.
Just
waiting
haters.
For you. Just waiting. Welcome to Elev8tion Radio.
Welcome. Sorry we are late. We were having... I ain't gonna lie, we just run on CP time. You know what? That's just...
See, she can't even keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real for you. We moved into a new location. Our studio is now built. You notice that we don't have the windows anymore, which is the kind of...
Yeah, we were out front.
We were out
and
front.
then now we're in the back.
Now we're in the official built room that it's going to be hosted in.
And we're still like tweaking stuff because I'm gonna bring a lamp because it's like really dark in here, and it's making me depressed.
Things that happen in the dark.
It's making me depressed. That's what I need, some sunlight.
Which is a good opening to our topic today of seasonal
affective disorder.
I couldn't get that out. She had to do it for me.
I could. This mic is like all
discombobulated. Unloosen it from here.
Okay. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today.
PG.
I'm in a weird mood.
But it's coming to that part of the season that everybody starts feeling down and depressed.
Yes. The time is changing. It's getting darker and earlier and colder. And
the life in the trees and the green in the grass is going to turn brown and leaves are going to fall. And so people fall into this depression.
And it's also the seasons for like Thanksgiving, Christmas. A lot of people lost family around that time. Mm-hmm. So, you know, holidays are rough. Right. And you have those family holidays during the winter months.
Right.
So seasonal affective disorder it's a modifier for major depressive disorder.
Okay.
So it's not like seasonal affective disorder was its own disorder, but then it got changed into a modifier. So if somebody came in with major depressive disorder, I would put major depressive disorder and then underneath spring, winter months.
Okay.
So that's how they put it as a modifier of...
Not to change the subject, today is 9/11.
Oh, yes. 9/11.
So our condolences to all those people who lost loved ones.
And family members, and just mainly affected by 9/11.
It affected America.
A lot of people got affected just by watching.
Right.
The news, which I thought was like really horrific because the news kept playing it over and over.
For years after.
And it just was like the bombs. I mean, the planes just going into the building again and again. And I'm sitting here like, this is traumatizing people even more.
It's repetitive.
So, yeah. It was just like...
But I was in the city over the weekend, and you couldn't feel that eeriness
anymore
like you would at the beginning when it first happened. Like the first 5 years you went into the city around this time, you would feel the heaviness. It wasn't even like that. People were, at Central Park. They were out and about all times of the hours of the night, of the morning. It was just back to that vivacious city that it always been. So, kudos to you, New York City, New Yorkers who can be optimistic past the past.
And DC.
And
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So.
But it was a nice vibe to go to, and we walked through the area, and before it used to be a somber walk. Now with everything being built and moving, it felt pretty positive. For me, my experience was positive.
And that's the one thing about America. We do rebuild. We do, just kind of get it back together. And just like with the hurricanes now. And so, yeah, we will.
So our condolences to all those people who lost
loved
ones.
9/11.
And 9/11. And, keep going forward. Keep going forward. The memories are still alive, but it doesn't have to be on a pessimistic level.
Yes.
They were here. They loved. They moved on. And so do we. So, now with that being said, let's go back to the happy stuff.
Oh, the depression. Okay, depression. So... seasonal affective disorder. It usually happens around the end of fall, beginning, around about October till about March, April.
Right.
And they also have a spring and summer. affective disorder.
Really? Mm-hmm. I would wonder why you would be depressed around the summertime. You probably want to get up and go.
And I think it's honestly, it's really because they said it's how your biological clock reacts to the change of seasons.
Okay.
Because what happens, especially when it gets darker earlier, some people, their bodies will, like the melatonin we have, which makes us tired, can increase. And their serotonin levels, the happy, feel-good feelings, can decrease.
Wow.
So that's what happens.
Well, people, we need to get better at managing those things on a more holistic way. So
that's what kind of happens. So your melatonin levels increase, which increases tiredness and sleepiness. Because you ever had them like melatonin pills? I'll sometimes take them when I can't fall asleep. Because melatonin is naturally in our body.
Right.
So we take the pills and it just kind of like lulls you off.
But you know, I was talking to a holistic doctor who says that those pills, they're great, but we really don't need to take a full pill.
No, I don't take a full pill.
A quarter of a quarter.
I take like I have a 5 milligrams and it's cut in half.
Well, he said that we take too much of it. I mean, he said just take it down to the grams. For the mere fact that if you take too much, it's going to give you the
adverse effect.
Adverse effect. You'll stay up later.
And really, you shouldn't even take. You should take it every now and then. If there's a reason why you can't sleep, then you should probably figure out why you're not sleeping. Because a lot of people can't sleep because up here
they're worried about too many things.
Your brain won't shut down. Your body will be exhausted, but your brain won't shut down.
Right.
Like, I go to sleep. I don't care.
You're on demand.
I don't care. I got 8 million things I'm concerned with right about now. But guess what? Tonight when I'm going home, and nothing I can do about it. I can handle it in the morning.
You shut it right down.
I'll shut it down.
I hear that. I'm the same way. I'm out. My head hits that pillow.
I'm done.
I ain't got to worry in the world.
Because I always say, like my mom said, go to bed. Just go to bed. That was my mom's cure for depression.
You really can't control it.
You can't. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I used to change a lot of things. Like I wouldn't get the mail after 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Because what I'm gonna do when I get that pink notice in the mail? Electric company's closed.
Everything's closed.
Yeah.
Right.
So all I'm gonna do is sit here and get this pink notice and worry about it all night.
Right.
No, I'll get the mail in the morning when everything's open and I can figure something out.
That's smart.
Yeah, I never would get the mail like.
So lifestyle changes.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and certain times if I didn't want to answer that phone, I just didn't answer the phone. If I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be bothered.
Now, do you think this seasonal affective disorder, do you think that needs to be treated with medicine, or do you think it's just a change of mind?
They suggest CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which you're just talking to, changing your mindset. They say medicine, and I think it just kind of depends upon your level of depression. I would always try different things. Like they say, go for a walk.
Correct.
Open the blinds.
Do something that you enjoy doing.
Open the blinds. Stop sitting in the dark. Like my mother couldn't stand sitting in the dark. She used to yell at my sister all the time, I can't take it, open the blinds. So it's like open the blinds, go for a walk. UV rays. They have certain lights. They have a happy light, what's the light blue light? It's like different types of lights that give off UV rays.
Right.
But they say you really need to be careful with that, because if you have a history in your family or you are diagnosed with bipolar disorder, too much of the rays or too much too intense at a short period of time could cause manic symptoms.
Wow.
Yes. So it's kind of like you really have to be careful and contact your psychiatrist, not your doctor, but a psychiatrist or a therapist, like a licensed therapist, to make sure that, what level you should use and how much a day you should use it. So some people will just go in there and they'll just start like blasting their face with UV rays. So it can cause, manic symptoms to occur if you're like diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
And that's diagnosed.
Yes. Or if some people have family history of it.
Okay.
And certain like SSRIs can cause, like if you just get, like say you get Lexapro.
SSRIs is what?
Oh God, so something.
Educate.
Oh geez, I'll have to Google that one. Supplement. I forgot the name of what it stands for, but Lexapro is one.
Okay.
So
the depression medications, basically.
Yes. So if you take Lexapro and you have a family history of bipolar disorder, sometimes Lexapro can trigger manic episodes.
Okay.
Like you may not, like say you just, oh, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way. Oh, you talk to your family doctor and they don't get that background history like a psychiatrist or therapist would. Then they say, oh, okay, Lexapro. Because Lexapro is about the safest you can get.
Okay.
Like, they just all of a sudden ran out of psychiatrists at the guidance center, I say, hey, I'll do it. And then I just say, 0.5. There you go. I ain't going to kill you. You know what I mean? Like, 0.5. There you go. Yeah, Lexapro, that's safe. 0.5. There you go. But it can trigger manic episodes if you have a history of bipolar disorder in your family. Like, certain things can cause triggers. So that's what they were saying with the lights. You have to absolutely make sure that you're going to your psychiatrist first.
Okay.
To the dosage, how much light. Sometimes it could be 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day. Don't, some people just be like, oh, okay, let me go get light. And just blast in their face and then, Not realizing, now they're out shopping, spending $1,000 they don't have. Like one of them manic episodes. Okay, let me just go spend $1,000 I don't have. And a lot of the risk factors are being female, age. A lot of younger people go through seasonal affective disorder than older, and that might be just because it might just be missed with older people.
Okay. Or you think that older people just, I think the older they get, they start losing their friends, and their family members.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more depression with older people. Yeah.
Than what we're
saying.
A
lot of older people don't show depression like we would. So it's kind of hard to catch with older people.
Okay.
That's why I said with older people, you always have to make sure, like, because they're losing friends like almost every day. Or, well, no, I won't say every day, but every other day.
At least once a month. I mean, twice a month.
Something like that, yeah.
Depending on how old they are.
Or sickness. A lot of friends might be sick, and they worry. And, so it's kind of like, because I took my mom to go see an old friend of ours, and she has dementia. And when I went to go get her, my mom was waiting, so I was like, I'll go get her. And she just basically I was like, oh, like, didn't recognize me. And I'm sitting here like, this is going to be crushing to my mom. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to, and I'm sitting here like, okay. So I'm just like, and it hurts because it's kind of like, they're at that stage where it's like, okay, we're around the same age. So is this going to happen to me?
Right.
So depression, you really have to be careful with older people.
Okay. So those people who have older parents that they're taking care of, uncles, aunts, or nieces.
Oh, friends, yeah.
This is the time of season that you want to go in and check up on them.
Yes.
I could speak. Check up on them. Make sure that they're in good spirits. And, just because they're not optimistic about everything that's going on in their life, a little sunshine doesn't hurt when it's gray.
Yeah, take them out. Go for, just even if you sit
lunch,
outside.
Take them out to dinner.
Yeah. Go to the park and
movies.
sit.
Just because they're old, their body might be old, but their mind stays young. A lot of the old people, my father was 97, I swore he was in his 40s. I'd still have to catch up to him mentally.
That's how I'm going to be.
So, he was chasing nurses and the whole nine every time he was in the hospital because he forgot how old he was. And that's a beautiful thing to know that, you come from that type of stock. And for the most part, I think I am very optimistic when it comes to all kinds of things. For the mere fact, you can't really control it, but you can make a choice to make it better.
Yes.
So when seasonal depression comes along, best believe I would love to be on the beach on Miami and just sit there.
And that's another thing, too. A lot of people take vacations during summer.
Right.
I met one of the professors, and she said that she always goes to a tropical island in December.
Which is smart.
Because she has seasonal affective disorder.
Okay.
So she always goes in December where it's more sunshine. And she said by the time she gets back, it's not as bad going through a whole winter.
Right.
Just, trying to cope and get by.
Right.
So, I mean, the way my wallet's set up right now, that'd be nice. But
So Rika is going to do bath water and a sun lamp.
Yep. Like,
with some full coloring.
Take a little fake palm tree right there. I'm in Bermuda.
Water nice and blue. You know, but there's ways to combat it, and you just got to be open to them and be able to move around with it. You know.
Yes.
Depression is not an easy disease to fight. You know, so I commend all of you who wake up every morning and have to chase off those thoughts
and get out the bed.
And get out the bed and be social and all those things, because it does take a lot of energy to fight.
And a lot of people say, you know, well, they just, you know, just got to shake it off. You just got to get, and depression is not like that.
No.
And honestly, because when I was taking, because I had one client one time and he said, I just can't help it. I just can't help it. And I remember taking a birth control with, I think it was progesterone only. Mm-hmm. And whoa, when I say it had my mood, then I got what he was saying. When I say I couldn't help it, I could not help my mood. Like I was just snapping, or one minute I was crying. And I'm saying, like, what is the matter? And it was the birth control pills.
Wow.
So then I understood. I walked a little bit in his shoes, mm-hmm. you know, just a little bit, to say, okay, when they say they really can't help, this is what they're feeling. Like I could not control it.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here like, oh, and I was like, y'all just throw these things in the trash. I can do that with the birth control pills. With the depression, it's harder.
Now, do you think depression pills help? Because they have all these side effects.
They have all these side effects. I seen one where the lady had, I think she had surgery to, I think, rewire.
Oh, wow.
Something in her brain, but it worked.
Extensive.
Yeah, it actually worked.
I don't know if I want anybody tampering with my wiring. But
she said that, and it's kind of like they did something with, you know, the veins and doing this that goes to the level, serotonin levels, but she said it was like the best decision because she was suffering with depression for years.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
It worked.
That's a scary thought, though, to have somebody go into your brain and mess with the wiring.
And have it to be, yeah. But she was suffering from depression years. It had to be like 20-something years. So I don't really think that would be maybe like a last option for people that been suffering for depression, maybe 2 years or 3 years, something like that. Change of diet also helps. So, yes, change of diet.
For me, it becomes a hibernation point for me that I eat everything.
And they said that one of the symptoms is like having a craving for carbs.
But I'm not depressed, but I eat carbs all winter long.
Irritability.
Nah.
Insomnia for some, or, you know, just cannot get out the bed, just like oversleeping.
Right.
Tearfulness, isolation, avoidance of activities, suicidal thoughts or behaviors.
Wow. That's a scary thought, to think that all that can trigger.
And sometimes with depression, it's not, the suicidal thought is not, it's the suicidal thought usually is because they just don't want to be living like this anymore.
Okay.
It's not, you know, it's just I can't live like this anymore. So, yeah, change of diet, though. I know winter's hard because you got the crock pot food, and it's cold, and you got chili and chicken noodle soup. And
mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
That's my weakness. Mashed potatoes in the wintertime. Start making those shepherd pies and all those things.
Carb city.
Yes, and I'll be regretting it in the summer when I look at my gut. Oh, Lord, no.
Wait a minute.
Right, what happened?
What happened was the winter came. I know, that's what I'm trying to like really avoid. I did see candy corn in the store, and I don't care. People hate candy corn.
Every time I see that now, I think of you.
Everybody hates candy corn. I love candy corn. And the pumpkin ones.
Can't stand it. That stuff is like wax. It's like wax. You know that, right? It tastes like wax.
I I seen it, I was like, oh. And I only get the Brock's brand. That's the only brand I get. I won't get no cheap brand.
It still tastes like wax.
No, it don't. It tastes like candy corn and pumpkin.
Waxy candy corn.
Oh.
But, so what are the options besides diet changing and...
Diet changing,
and
therapy,
okay,
medication, changing your habits, like opening the blinds, going for a walk.
Living outside your comfort zone, basically.
Yes, going outside your comfort zone. Go, if you have, sometimes you're going to have to change up your routine.
Okay.
Like now I really started, before I noticed that it wasn't going to work. I would go home and change. Then go to the gym. If I would have tried to do that today, no. I would have hit that bed and it'd have been done. So I bring my clothes with me in the morning. So I pack my gym stuff. So I either change while I'm at work or I just change at the gym.
Okay.
So I'm going straight there. I'm not stopping at home. I'm not, So it's like, okay, I'm going. So I'm there. I work out. Done. So some people might have to change their routine into the morning. Like if you were doing it in the morning, now it doesn't get like till 6:30.
Right.
So you might have to change it to the afternoon.
Now, do you think, because I always have a hard time trying to understand the seasonal depression, just for the mere fact I'm always busy. I'm always into something, doing something with my kids or going out on my own, or reaching out to my girlfriends, or, if you stay busy.
Well, no, sometimes people can be busy but still depressed.
Do you think but the seasonal depression in that summertime, going to the movies, going to the mall, because now it's the
But
holidays.
even with, because a lot of people think when people stay busy that they're not depressed.
Okay.
A lot of people just think, like when I was having problems, I was so depressed. I was so sad. I was sad. I was sad. I was hurt. And I was sad. I was hurt. But nobody would ever know unless I told you.
Right.
Yeah.
You just kept going.
I just, fake it till I make it.
Okay. So did you make it?
Yeah, finally, after Miss Wanda, yeah. But I don't know how long I could have kept pretending if I was constantly in pain like that.
Right.
But some people, just because they're busy or surrounded by people, inside they might be feeling alone and sad and feeling, because you could be surrounded by 1,000 people but still feel that nobody's there for you. Like that happens a lot with people. You could still feel alone even though you're surrounded by people. And even if you're surrounded by people like your best friends, your family, they know they love you, it's just a certain way people with depression feel.
Right.
It's just they feel alone, like nobody's there.
Wow.
So, yeah, just being busy, yeah. I faked it. I was miserable. I was so miserable.
Well, I couldn't tell that you were miserable.
Yeah.
You were still getting up and you were still,
I was going where I was laughing and joking, but inside, I was miserable. I would go home and just be miserable.
Wow.
Like,
so people
miserable.
With seasonal, depression.
Affective disorder, yeah. I didn't even want one day I just would look good crazy. I didn't even care about life anymore. I was just like, hair was like clothes. I was just like, I'm just here. It was just like, I'm just here. I don't care anymore.
I think I was raised by optimistic parents. You understand what I'm saying? My mom had cancer, and even the last episode that she had, that really took her, because it spread to her liver, spread to her bones. Even that, she would get up and she would do her hair and she would do her makeup, and she would, she won't wear a lot of makeup, but she wore lipstick and, do her nails, whatever made her feel good, because she said, if I feel good, if I look good,
you
I
feel
feel
good.
good.
And that's a lot of people. I had one girl from college, her mother-in-law came in, and she was a nurse, and she had an accident which like kind of destroyed the movements in her arm. And she said that every day that she would get up, and she said no matter how long it took her, she didn't care if it took her 2 hours to get dressed. She took a shower, she got dressed, because it just made her feel better.
Correct.
Yeah, she just felt better.
And that's what she would always emphasize. You got to be grateful for everything that you have, because you're only here a little while. So you have a choice either to live it in the fullness of it all, or you have a choice to sit back and allow it to inundate you
And suck the life out of you. Yeah.
Right. And she says, stay away from people who are like that as well. Because there are people who are just geared.
Life suckers?
Yeah, no, but they'll smile in your face and be like, hey.
Yeah, life suckers.
And then,
And you can say one thing that's like you're happy about positive, and they'll find a negative in something. They'll find a negative.
Smile.
Yeah. They'll find a negative, and you're like,
why?
Like, ooh.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
like, ooh.
But, it's a frame of mind. She always said it's your mind. The battle is always in your mind. And if you're able to control your demons that are in your mind, you control anything outside of you. Because those demons inside your mind are going to take that joy of life that you have and make it feel like it's not life.
Yeah. And everybody has their bad days. So don't think that, you might have major depression has to extend over like a 6-month period. Charlie Brown. There you go. Major depression. He stays sad. So it has to extend over a period of time. We have our moments when we're sad or we're just upset and we can't understand why. Yeah, but it's got to be over, an extended period of time.
Right.
So that's what kind of like major depression is. So don't everybody come running out like I was sad for 2 days.
It's just part of life.
It's just life. It's just life.
Right.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Sit down with those emotions. Figure it out. And move on.
And take time out. And the people that know me, don't do what I say. Don't do what I do. Because they probably listen to me like, shut up. Because you don't take no time. You don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't.
I don't say nothing.
I don't speak English. I don't speak the English. Yeah. Do what I say. Don't do what I do.
Right.
So take time out for yourself. Take those days where you just kind of cut the world off. I just can't even believe I'm saying it right.
Exactly.
I know. Because I need to do it.
She's the only one I know that takes time off to go find another job. She never takes time off to actually go sit at the beach. She never takes time. When was the last time you really went on a vacation?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the last time I went on vacation, I moved. And I was still working at the college.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was still teaching, and I moved at the same time.
To work another job and to work.
Yeah, so I haven't, yeah.
Life is too short.
I know, people, I know.
But do as she says, not as she does.
Yes, do what I say. Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Don't do what I do. But I know my body, and I know when, Zoe, you've had enough, shut down. Like, just kind of, and I take that day. I just need a day. And just relax my brain.
That was my day today.
Yeah, I need a day to just relax the brain. Because I'm like, I haven't even really journaled lately. And I'm saying, like, that's kind of like not like me. Yeah, I'm just like exhausted. I'm emotionally and mentally just wiped clean out.
Do you think it's because the season is coming to an end? And you're...
No. The state is coming. The state is coming.
Oh, Lord.
I got to tell this funny story.
Okay.
And if Bettina Hills is listening, she had me died. Okay. So the state is coming to do their, site review for us. So that's what I've been working like I'm a little crazy woman. So a guy from the state came. He's a project analyst. So he just kind of reviews like different programs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was downstairs talking to him with the director for residents. So she was like, we were talking about different things. And so she said, oh, introduce him to George, my director. So I said, okay. So I called up steps and I said, George, come here. So he's like, what? I said, oh, he ain't coming up. I said, watch Linda, I'm going to get his ass down here. And I said, somebody from the state here. He was like, boom. I swear, I turned around and laughed at Linda, right? I was like, and I turned around, he was right here in my face. I was like, ooh. And my girlfriend was like, he like Crazy Joe. He told me, he said, code 10. Code 10. I said, yeah.
Batman.
I said, he like, get the chains off the door. The enemy's here. I said, from now on, I'm just going to do like randomly.
Why would you do that?
Just holler up the stairs. Stay here.
For what?
Just to see him run.
You know all that stuff comes right back to you.
It was funny. Sometimes I have people waiting outside 25 minutes for him to get downstairs. That's what the funny part was, because I was like, he's
Jorge,
never coming
they
down.
messing with you, Jorge.
I'm like, he's never going to come down here. I told Linda, I said, watch, I'm going to get him down here. I said, somebody fun to stay here. He's like, boo. I was like, God. I turned around. He was like, right in my face. I was like, oh, my God.
So let me stop. I was about to ask a question about his demeanor, but you know what? That's not right. Not on the air.
Not on the air. Yeah, he was kind of ticked at me, like, it's only the project analyst. Oh, well.
From the state?
From the state, though. Like, he's from the state.
Same area.
Yeah.
Same department.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that every now and then, just to get a kick out of life.
She obviously does. She definitely needs some time off.
I swear, if he'd fallen down them steps,
I
was like, when I say he flew down them steps.
She's starting to be conniving, people.
He ran down them steps.
Beware, Zell needs some rest.
I do. I definitely do need some rest.
So as of tonight, anybody of her friends that are listening, do not call her. Give her at least 12 hours. She'll be fine by the morning. Yeah,
I make it up and be at work early. I got to teach tomorrow, and then I got Thursday to teach. And
I think that's what it is. You're getting back into your groove that you've been out of all summer long.
No, I just been working a lot at work. A lot.
Wow.
A lot, yes.
Wow.
So I'm like kind of just beat and exhausted.
You got to catch up, girl.
I know.
Got to catch up.
But I'm going to do a revelation. So, what time is it? And if anybody, you think you're suffering from major depressive disorder, seasonal affective disorder, please see your doctor, your psychiatrist. You can go. Twin Oaks has a walk-in facility on Lincoln Avenue.
Okay.
Twin Oaks is it's an EISS program where you go in and you can walk in. You don't even need an appointment. And you can get an intake done, an evaluation. You can do therapy there. Even if you don't want to take medication, you still get like an evaluation. If you're kind of optimal on medication, then you can go see one of the therapists there and just have therapy. So it's Twin Oaks, and it's located on Lincoln Avenue. I'm not sure that exact address because they moved from Bridgeton. They were in Bridgeton.
You can Google it, Twin Oaks, TWIN.
Yeah, Integrated Oaks. Yeah, Twin Oaks, Integrated Oaks. But they were in Bridgeton on Manheim. So I don't know if their website was updated. And they are a walk-in program. So you can just walk in, Violin, New Jersey. Because they just changed Oaks Integrated. So I don't know if their new address is in here.
Bettina said code 10, code 10.
The enemy is here. Get the chains off the door. We was cracking up.
But with that depression.
Yeah, I can't see. I don't think their address might be updated in the system, but it's Twin Oaks. Oaks Integrated. They're on Lincoln Avenue in Vineland.
Okay.
They were the ones that was in Bridgeton on Manheim Avenue. Mm-hmm. So they're on Lincoln Avenue. You can walk in, no appointment necessary.
But mental health is extremely important. You know, you need to get that balance. You need to quiet your mind. You need to find whatever it is that can get you to keep moving forward in the most optimistic position possible. So if you have, seasonal, regular depression or bipolar, get checked out. There's nothing wrong with it. People like to put a stigma on people who have those issues. You get the little snide comments, little sarcastic jokes here and there and what have you. But that's exactly what it is. It's nothing serious. Don't take it personal. It's you and your makeup. It's the way you're chemically made.
And you can live a fulfilling and happy life. It's worse to not do anything about it.
Right. And there's some great pioneers in music and in arts and
architecture, math.
Right.
That have had
issues with
mental health
depression
disorders
or bipolar, but the mere fact that they kept persevering to leave their mark is they didn't let that hold them down. They didn't let that chain them down, because that's what it seems like. Depression changes you. It changes you to the point that you don't want to get up. You don't want to go out. You don't want to be social. You don't want to do anything productive that you would normally want to do because you have a chemical imbalance. You know, chemical imbalance, there's nothing wrong with it. We all have one. Everyone is wired differently.
And some of us, it peak out a little bit, and some of us, it peak out a lot of it. So we all got something a little up
going
here.
on. Yeah, so embrace it. This is who you are. Deal with it. I like to call them our personal demons. Once you know how to deal with your personal demon, you won't let that demon hinder or hurt anyone, including yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but there's some people who are reckless with it that will go out and open their mouth and just be malicious without even putting themselves in the position of the other person. How would they feel? There's a comment that I would always say: treat people the way you want to be treated. But then also treat people the way that they want to be treated. The way that they're treating you, you have every right to turn around and treat them.
Or just walk away.
Or just walk away.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a stronger person to put that person in check and say, you know what, we're not in grade school. That's not right.
Yeah.
You got away with it all these years.
And I think I think it's dependent on, I do that. People know me. I'll check you real quick. I think it depends on my mood as I've gotten older.
Yeah, because I've seen you kind of just raise one eyebrow and be like, and anyway.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like getting a headache. Oh, they're not worth it. Really. I just feel like, okay.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, oh, okay.
Right, and that person might feel like they got the upper hand in the situation because you didn't say anything or because you didn't check them. But that's the problem, that they went along with life not getting checked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel that's very immature of any adult. After the age of 16, you should know better. There's a word called tact and professionalism, which is a beautiful concept and a beautiful character to have, because that means you're in control of every single one of your demons and you're not going to allow them to play with others.
I always just try to be very careful about people's feelings. And I think people should consider that. Like, I don't want to hurt people.
Because hurt people hurt other people.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm really trying to be careful about what I say, you know, and how I say it.
Right.
I don't try not to just pop off what I'm really thinking in my head, like what I'm really thinking in my brain.
Right.
So I just try to think about it. But then when I tell people I don't want to talk about it, that means don't leave it alone.
Right.
Because if you keep pushing, you're going to catch, you know,
demon number 4.
the alter ego.
All of my demons have numbers.
You're going to catch that alter ego.
They all have numbers for me. So depending on how wide range your little box is, you know, but it's unnecessary. And I think
you're going to catch Boom Shika coming out because, don't bring her out. Keep her away.
Now, since you studied mental health, would you consider someone like that to be depressed? Because a hurt person hurts another person. They're not evaluating what they're thinking before they speak it.
It depends. That could be like a lot of different things. That could be just their upbringing. That could be something with their personality. That's kind of like and sometimes people that's how they're brought up. And like you said, if they ain't gotten checked in a couple years.
But let someone come across them that way.
Oh, yeah. Then
Yesterday we were getting on the bus, and this older woman was there with her mother. And her mother went to go sit down, and she's sitting there, and they had an announcement over the broadcast that someone took the wrong luggage at 4:30 in the morning, that if they can please return it back to the terminal. Now, mind you, it's now 7 o'clock. Now, if you get off...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this young man looks at this old lady and says to her, excuse me, is there a bus that comes here at 4 o'clock in the morning? And she says, I was having a conversation with my mother. I was not having a conversation with you, so you need to mind your business. He was just like, I was just asking.
Like, damn. Okay. Twisting your Cheerios, lady.
Right.
Woo,
so with that comment right there, it made me wonder, okay, are you that depressed that all you can do is just be sarcastic?
No, she's just nasty. That's just nasty. That's just being probably raised antisocial personality, but you have to have a lot of, things going on to be diagnosed with that. So it's just really sometimes people just ain't raised right. They're just not raised right. Just wasn't raised right.
They can't play with others.
No, they was the ones in the sandbox alone.
But then you wonder, you just wonder because a lot of people do things for a lot of weird reasons.
And if you're suffering from seasonal affective disorder, any kind of major depression, please stay away from substance use. Do not, like I say,
substance abuse. Okay.
Do what I say. Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Don't do what I do.
Substance abuse meaning what?
Alcohol, drugs, alcohol is a depressant. People think alcohol is something different. Alcohol is a depressant.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Alcohol is a depressant. Yeah, people think it's like you go, oh. No, alcohol is actually a depressant. So, yeah.
That's strange to hear.
Drugs, don't do drugs. Don't think that doing that is going to heighten your, mood.
Don't self-medicate is what she's saying.
Do not self-medicate.
Because that's what they're really doing is self-medicating.
Yes.
They're dumbing it down.
So, no drugs, no alcohol. Don't do it.
I never knew alcohol was a depressant.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't treat you like a depressant, then what?
It is a depressant. Don't try to make it. It's a depressant. You're like, but what if?
How many people out there think that when they drink alcohol they become depressed? I don't.
If you're suffering from a depressive disorder already, bipolar disorder, any kind of imbalance, chemical imbalance, alcohol can enhance that and become a major depressant. Yes.
Well, I'm a happy drunk. I'm sorry.
Yes. How many people are them crying drunks?
I'm not. And I hate the crying drunks. I want to send them home in an Uber.
I don't know. I'd rather take the crying than the angry. I can't do the angry.
I'm not angry. I'm a happy. Like, what we going to do next? Let's go. Adventurous. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't do the crying one. I could do the crying drunk before the angry drunk. I don't like the angry drunk.
We're not telling anybody to go out there and get drunk.
Yes, no, we just got sidetracked off this whole conversation.
Because you said that alcohol is a depressant. It's not for me. So
it's not for you.
Okay.
But alcohol is a depressant.
Sometimes,
I can kind of
teeter into that.
Yeah, depending on it. And I was watching The Notebook. Somebody told me to watch The Notebook. Oh, Jesus. And I was drinking on the couch. And I thought, it just was. I was all on the floor hanging off the couch like, oh, I want that. Yeah. So normally I'd just probably be like, it was hard. It was bad. No. Yeah, it was bad.
I'm the one that's saying, what do you want to do next? What time you got to go back?
Yeah, I think if people drink more when they're alone, too, that kind of happens. Yeah. If I'm around people, but sometimes when I'm by myself, I'm just good. I'm like just.
I can't get into that with you because I'm more of a happy drunk. I mean, I'm trying to get into something.
Usually when people are like that, usually something's already going on when you get the crying drunks. Even with the angry drunks, you get them. There's something's going on.
I've had
and it's that moment where the alcohol kind of loosens that tongue up and them thoughts and feelings, and you just, I'll go into his house.
And you see the look I have on my face right now is the same look I give him then. Like, really, you have a choice.
I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, let's go. Get him.
No, I think life is a gift on every level. Our choices. No matter how bad the world has handed it to you, meaning, there's worse things out there. And if you're not in that position of being in that worst part, you really don't have much to really complain. And not only that, we don't live in a third world country where we're really...
Just think of what just happened over the past 2 weeks with the hurricane. So we really don't have anything to complain about.
You know what I mean?
The lions on foot. What is... Yeah, lions on... I said, okay.
Right.
Yeah, so we really don't have anything where we're
blessed.
Yeah, people are homeless right now, and
understanding how blessed we are and living in that blessing. Don't get me wrong. If you're depressed and you have that chemical imbalance, get the help that you need because we are advanced enough to alter that chemical imbalance.
Yes, so and there's help out there. Yes.
Right, so you can see the better parts of life, so you can enjoy Christmas and
just every day sunshine and just being
the holidays. The holidays is about. It's not about the gift giving. It's about the family that's alive and living. And here, you're supposed to celebrate life. Life is a celebration all the way across, no matter what it is that you have. So find that balance within yourself, you know what I mean, with that depression or with the seasonal depression. If you already know, like she's saying, October, November, December, January, those months are the worst months of them all the way into February, April.
Yeah.
So you're going through these mood swings. Be conscious. Catch yourself.
And for people who have like lost family members during the career, like my dad, do something different. Like maybe because a lot of people don't have family left anymore.
My mother passed 7 years ago yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday was her anniversary of her passing, her transitioning. I was in New York. I chose to live.
Yeah, do you go by, like with me with my dad, I think Christmas and things, it's just kind of rough because Christmas was his holiday. Mm-hmm. But then I tried to do his, tradition of cooking, and I did it for maybe 3 years. That was just way too much. My girlfriend was like, oh, I said, listen, I'm sorry, but if my dad would have died in July, I wouldn't have been doing this. This is just too much work. Yeah, it was just like a lot of work. So I'm like,
it wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing. That was my dad's thing.
Right.
So I'm going to do something different. And I think like I want to really try to start going away Christmas time.
Right.
Yeah.
I was always raised, you've known me 20, 30 years on and off. Shut up.
I ain't ashamed. I ain't ashamed.
And within those years, I was always raised to look at life in a different perspective. So where everyone else would be, grieving a death, I was taught to celebrate.
And we were always taught to, you celebrate life too. You can miss the person, but you keep going. We're here for a time. And that's why you should really appreciate people while they're here.
Right.
Appreciate and love them now because we're not here forever. We're just kind of borrowed.
No. And then when they're gone, you miss the physical.
But you still always have that memory.
But they left so much tangible emotions that are
lessons.
Right, that are still vibrant inside of you, that how can you forget them? Yeah. And that positive. And you see them everywhere you do something. Like, you could, yesterday, for instance, I'm walking through the city and a lady went to help a little girl hop over a puddle. Reminded me of my mother with my daughters when they were little. So, I mean, it's those little glimpses of the past that you see in the future that make it, or in the present, that make it okay, So I think I grieved maybe a year and a half after losing my mother. But I really didn't grieve because I jumped right into taking care of my father.
Yeah, see, when my dad died, it was more of, I went right back to school.
Right. Stay busy.
I was school, I was working, and my sister was sick. So it was just like, it was a constant, like I didn't even have a chance to.
Right.
And then once I started to kind of feel that crash feeling, that's when I think it was maybe about a year after my dad died that I actually started seeing a therapist.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it was like a year after my dad died.
I just kind of went out and started living life the way that she would want me to live. You know what I mean? I didn't see a therapist. She just was like, don't repeat my mistakes. In other words, live life. Live life. What I was afraid to do in my life, don't be afraid to do.
Yeah, I had to, because it was like, it was no grieving period there. It was just keep going and going and going and going. And I was like, I'm getting ready. Crash and burn. And I acknowledged it and recognized it because I reached out to one of my professors. And because she was my professor, she was like, I can't but I got somebody for you. And I loved her to death. Like, it was 2 years. I went to go see her. After a while, she was like, Zell, you're good.
You're healed.
Yeah.
I love the visits.
Yeah.
Honey,
and I was like, all right. Because she was like, I think we should kind of, you're trying to. And I was like, no, I'm sad about. She says, "Oh, stop it." I said, "I'm trying." I was like, okay. I was like, all right. Yeah, but it helped so much because she showed me a whole different perspective. And a lot of people think it's okay to pray about it. It's okay. I say sometimes God brings therapists in your life. We're just like a little extension from him. He busy right now, so he brings us. Yeah, he's busy right now, so he brings us.
Go to line 2.
Right. So, you know what I mean? Like some people, especially that are very religious, don't want to, I just got to pray about it. But people need people to talk to, even if it's just and non-judgmental people.
A sounding board.
Yeah, and because like people talk, and I'm like, but I'm your friend. It's different because I'm gonna tell you the truth. So a therapist is gonna kind of work around it for get you to see what you need to. Yeah, but I'm just gonna tell you the truth. So no, I can't help you. You gotta talk to somebody else because I'm just gonna be honest with you.
But that's the beauty of your friendship is that you're so damn honest that you want to go see somebody else and talk to you.
Yeah, because I'm like,
they want to get help because they're like, damn, Zell, really?
Just you ain't had to say it like that. Damn, Zell, you ain't say it like that.
But back to the seasonal, because we got 10 minutes. Seasonal depression on ways to alleviate it.
Going out walking. When that little ray of sunshine hit, if you're on your break, go outside.
Soak up some sun.
Soak up some vitamin D. And they talked about extra vitamin D. Take it, extra vitamin D. Honestly, when I found out from my doctor when I did blood work that I was vitamin D deficient, like I think I was at a 12 and it's supposed to be like a 50 something.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I should have rickets, yo. Like, why am I not in a wheelchair somewhere? But once I started taking the extra vitamin D, I felt a lot better. Like my energy level increased.
Wow.
So extra vitamin D, you can do taking walks. If you're at work, don't sit inside. Go outside. Get some air. Because I know sometimes I was in the office all day today and I was just like, I gotta go outside. I was like, I'm going to lose it. I was like, if I stay here, I'm going to lose it. And I would just go outside periodically just to get some air.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I need air. I can't sit up here all day. And open up the blinds. You can use the UV lamps, but I would seek, medical advice first.
Okay.
Yes. So, those are about, you can go see a therapist. You can take medication, change your diet, exercise. I would seriously try the exercising and diet change first.
Okay.
Yeah. I would seriously try the exercise and diet change.
Okay.
My current diet change has been amazing. I'm not physically tired. I'm mentally tired.
Okay.
Because I have felt like a tons better since I started eating better. But I'm just mentally tired. Like my brain hurts. It just hurts. Yes, my brain hurts. But physically, I'm not, I'm not like, oh, I'm just exhausted. No, physically, I'm fine. But mentally, my brain hurt.
Yeah, you look like I did 2 Mondays ago when I came in.
Yeah, I'm just like.
I'm here. I'm here. Just rattle me some because I'm here.
Just kind of rocking. Yeah.
Right.
So, go get help. Seek help. There's nothing wrong with it. Twin Oaks. It is on Lincoln Avenue. In Vineland. It's the one that used to be in Bridgeton on Manheim. But they have a walk-in service. You don't need an appointment. So I would definitely try there.
Get the help you need because you can change your whole life with that help. You can actually have a life of abundance.
And that's why I really, don't want to deal with insurance. I'd rather just do cash only because then I can kind of structure my practice the way I want to structure it.
Right.
I don't have to try to explain to the insurance company why I had a session maybe at the park.
Right.
Or why I had a session at the person's house.
Correct.
Or that's another reason why. Because I will
cater teach one of your clients
on different levels as to what they need. Yeah.
Because not everything is not for everyone.
Not, okay, I got to drag you 20 minutes to come over to the office and, it might have steps or it might do this or it might not be comfortable.
And which your main purpose is helping up people, not just helping yourself to their finances.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, that's why I don't want to deal with insurance.
Which is
because then I can cater the way I want to do it.
Which is completely respectable. We live in a society that has veered off of what we're truly here for, and that's to help one another. You know?
And I mean, I'm on a group, I think it's Black Therapist Rocks, and there's like a couple other ones I'm on. And they talk about, and it's true. I worked hard. I got 1,000 tons of student loans. Trust me, I got a lot of student loans. But certain things I'm not going to sacrifice. Like, people in this community need help.
Oh, in this community?
Yeah. I'm worried about Von Milverbrition right now. I can't think about the world. Please don't overwhelm me. Thinking about Cumberland County right now.
I'm just going to mind my business and eat my Cheez-Its. Go ahead.
So they need help. So I just want to try to make therapy affordable for everybody. Necessary. Yeah. Because I don't want people to, and a lot of people do say, okay, if you don't have insurance, I had one lady charges $175 an hour. And I stay crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I guess I gotta stay crazy. You know what I mean? People don't, they're like, I can't afford $175 an hour if they don't have insurance.
But the ones that are fee for service, they're so burnt out because they're so good at their trade that they get so many people there that now they're playing this devil's advocate of not having the time to release, because therapists also need time to release.
Oh yeah,
they're absorbing
everybody.
You know what I mean? Negative, positive, whatever it is, they're absorbing it.
And that's why you just kind of have to set boundaries too. Like I definitely, everybody's like a Google app, you can get this for your phone. I said I don't want my personal phone to ring. I said I will have a phone open from like 9 to 6. And that's it. After 6 o'clock, that phone gets shut off. And I don't want to hear no phone ringing. They can leave a message. I'll get it the next day. I have to set boundaries for myself also.
And be respectful.
Yeah.
And you have to respect your boundaries.
Yeah.
You can't make a leeway for one individual.
No.
Because then they're all going to flow in through that one. Well, you did it to so-and-so.
Yeah, no. From 9 to 6, I said, I'll give me a little bomber flip phone, $20. That's all. Just call, make an appointment on that. I'll pay a little $20 a month. That's not a problem. For my little, my self-care, my self-preservation, I have to have a lot of boundaries.
That is a good word, self-preservation.
Yes.
We lose so much focus on that self-preservation. We're too busy taking care of this person, taking care of this
that
issue,
person,
taking care of this problem, taking care of this property, taking care of this, taking that you forget that you need self-preservation. And depression, I think, is just a compound of everything and not having a solution for anything.
Anything. And some of the things you really shouldn't concern yourself with.
No.
Some people place themselves in a situation that you don't even need to be. Sometimes you just got to say, you know what? I'm going to let them figure that out. I'm going to let you figure that out.
Have fun with it.
Have fun. Because you ain't going to get me started.
No, if you want to talk to me about something real, something fun, something outside the ordinary, I'm open ears. But depression follows people. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like misery. Because there's no solution. They can't find a solution. But then they won't talk to anybody to help find that solution. One thing you said a couple of shows back, that if you don't talk to people about things,
they don't know.
Not only do they not know, you won't know.
You won't know, yeah.
Because that person might have that information that you need.
That's why people are so secretive and don't want to tell their business and don't want to. Listen, I tell people, no, I tell my business because I'm looking for an answer and somebody somewhere has an answer for me. Right. That's why. And ever since, like, if I talk about this or that, people say, oh, don't tell people because you get bad wojo or mujo or whatever. And they going to put roots on you and you ain't going to get what you want. I don't believe none of that. Listen, if it's for me, it's going to be for me.
Right.
Whether I tell this one who's hating on me and don't want, any kind of good for me, guess what? You're going to keep doing what you're doing, but I'm going to still keep winning.
Right.
So, if I'm telling you somebody knows somebody that I might need to know, and they going to tell somebody else, and I talk to this one for you, or this is what you do to do this, or this is what you do to get that.
Right.
Like, we really need to stop being so secretive about things that's really not.
Secretive. I like to use the word petty. Egotistic pettiness.
I mean, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep.
But for some people, it is.
I mean, and with jobs or what, listen, I had a position that I could have kind of went for, but then I was like, no, I know somebody else who wants it. So I called them and I said, look, they're up, put the application in. I said, I'm going to call so-and-so and I'm going to talk to them. They got an interview Tuesday. Listen.
It's bigger than you.
It's bigger than me. Sometimes you got to let other people grow with you. Like, you grow with me, we're going to grow together. I'm pulling everybody up.
Right.
And that's how we should be as a people.
We should be like that, but people are so egotistic and prideful and selfish.
Selfish, yes. Very selfish.
They don't want to see anybody else come on top. But see,
that's bad karma.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's bad. It's so bad
They
karma.
don't understand that by them going that way, they're also opening the door for blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because not everything is meant for you.
No, not everything. No.
And ideas are universal. They're not only yours. They're not only theirs. Other people are thinking about the same thing you're thinking. The process is who gets to it first. So when you sit there and say, oh, no, that was meant for me, how do you know?
And honestly, I could have. Seriously, though, I could have. But I was like, no. I said, somebody else needs it more than I do. Because I was like, I can go somewhere. It don't make me no difference. You know what I mean? But I'm like, somebody else needs it more than I do. And this person deserves it. So I'm like, yeah, do this, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm going to call this person. And they go, tomorrow. Boom. I'm like,
I got
boom.
another topic, even though our hour is up already. But I had another, I had a discussion the other day with someone, and we were talking about how people have very little respect for acknowledgement and gratitude towards other people.
Oh yeah, yeah, that gotta be a whole nother subject. But I think and I acknowledge other people. I acknowledge women. That's gonna be a whole nother topic. But I seen this girl. I was in Wawa, and she came in, and I lost my mind. Her hair was like, I said, and I was like, oh my God. I just had hair envy. I almost fainted. I said, oh, I want my hair. I was like, oh God. And I was like, I can't leave without telling this girl how beautiful her hair. I paid for my stuff, and I said, excuse me. I said, I had to tell you, your hair is so beautiful. I said, so beautiful. I almost was a tear. I was like, it's just so beautiful. And she's like, oh my God, thank you. You know, and we was talking and everything. And I was just like, yeah, I can't get this. When it grows out that much, I get irritated. Yeah. I was like, but it's just, I was like, wow. I was like, wow, bow down. You know, it's just like, queen, okay.
People have an issue
with
acknowledgement and appreciation. Which is sad in the society that we are in 2017, where people are self-centered and egotistic, that because of the lack of that, they feel like they're entitled. They're entitled. You owed this to me. Oh, you didn't give me anything. You didn't do this for me. You didn't do that for me. This is what I deserve. No, you deserve it when the sweat comes off your brow.
Well, you always have to see and understand.
That's another topic.
Yeah, that people don't have to do anything for you.
No, being appreciative of those.
That's the whole thing. You could be just the only people that have to do something for you is your mom and daddy until you turn the age of 18.
And
after that, they ain't got to do nothing else for you. And all they got to do is put clothes on your back, food on the table, and a roof over your head, and provide you with an education. That's all the law says.
Education. High school education, yes.
Yeah, that's it. But that's it. They have to provide you with an education, whether it's homeschooling, whatever. But when you hit 18, that's it. They don't have to do anything else for you. They don't have to do nothing. And that's the only people that have to do something for you is your parents, because by law, they'll go to jail. That's the only, half times the only reason why some of y'all parents do anything anyway, because they go to jail. If they don't do it, they're going to go to jail.
Right.
I'm just saying. I told my mom one time, I said, give me $1. I think I wanted a chicken wing or something. I was like, give me $1, I want a chicken wing. She's like, you grown. Why did you keep? I said, listen, I didn't ask to be here. You wanted me.
You gotta love Miss Shirley.
And I was like 40-something too at the time. I was like, you wanted me. I said,
you're lucky she didn't say, you sure about that?
I know, right? I could have went to that clinic. I could have.
We all know Miss
Your
Shirley.
daddy stopped me. Your daddy stopped me.
Miss Shirley says it with the deepest of love.
I know.
But okay, back to seasonal.
So,
get the help that you need.
Yes.
It's coming up close. October. Be aware of your mood changes.
And if anybody, and I'm telling you right now, anybody wants to go for a walk in the park, hit me up on Facebook. I'll go with you. It could be a whole group of us. It's so much. And a lot of people don't do things because they, people don't have time to go do it, or they, people just like, oh, I want to go to the park. Hit me up. I'll go with you to the park and walk. It's exercise for me too.
She's bold.
Go to the park.
Back from New York. I ain't asking nobody to go for a walk with me in North
Yes.
Woods.
We'll go for.
Good luck.
I mean, I'm saying, listen. I just thought about it.
She put it out there. Hit her up.
No sociopaths. Listen. Might have to do a screening before we do this walk. I didn't think about that. I was like, wait a minute.
That's why you're still looking like,
This on YouTube. Hold up. It's like breathing on the phone. I want to go for a walk.
Yeah. Hey, Sarika.
Yeah.
Hello.
Is it like him, stalker?
That's how they be pulling up.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God, they can actually see you. They can actually see you.
No,
I said they can see you. Yes. It was nice to you, too. Like, I was like, no. Like, ugh. Okay, so next week we will be here.
Next week?
Yes.
Okay, so you're feeling better. So now we're not going to be doing every other week. We're going to do every week.
Yeah, we could do every week. Yeah.
Okay, so next Monday we will be back on topic we posted up.
You the one said that. Remember? Because you was like, in September we'll start back every
No,
week.
because you were going through some issues and you were going to get tested and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
probed and
Oh, yeah,
and you
yeah.
weren't
Oh,
feeling
no, yeah.
100%. So
Mm-hmm.
now that she's up and running, literally, we just got to get her mind back on there. But hopefully soon we'll have the miracle worker of Wanda.
Yes,
on
Miss
air.
Wanda, and I spoke to Lachelle, and she will probably come on in October. She is hosting an event in November for women.
Okay.
I'll be one of the guest speakers. So,
Yeah, you.
yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of changes for Mind Elevation, more health conscious talks. Because if your body is healthy, your mind
gonna be healthy. Absolutely. If your body's in pain, trust me, your mind ain't right.
So they work hand in hand.
Yes.
So we have other things coming on board as well. We have Sharonda Button. I think she's now gonna have.
Oh yes, Tuesday. Isn't she having an event here tomorrow?
She's gonna have a vegan taste testing.
Yes.
And
try it, people. Don't knock it.
It'll be all plant based.
And I I was at the gym and telling them about the trainers actually. And I'm like, y'all trainers, come on, for real. I'm like,
because the misconception of protein. That's what it's all about. The misconception, if you cut it down to the bottom line, it's a misconception of protein. You get more protein from quinoa
plants
and plant-based than
your
you do.
kale.
My kale. Girl, I made
your
some kale last night.
Ugh.
And I made some roasted pepper quinoa.
I would do that, but that kale.
My kids loved it. And I'm talking about
they only because you're their parent. They don't want to say anything, hurt your feelings.
But they dogged it. You know, but
does they love their mother? They don't want to hurt her feelings.
Me, but also they're so much healthier than other children. You know, they're not overweight. They don't have, issues with bad acne. They're vivacious kids. So you look at the other kids that they hang out with and they're eating, all this junk food and you see them being sluggish and sitting down playing video games all day. My son, I come home and my front yard looks like an optical. Did you see the cones out in the front?
Yeah.
The optical looks like what is it? Survivor race course. They have everything out there. He's jumping off of trash cans and jumping back up onto trash cans. I'm looking at you gonna bust.
He's a kid. That's nice.
But
how many kids actually play outside nowadays?
Yesterday he takes off to the park. Doesn't come home till almost dark. He's out playing, like a normal kid. So if your mind is right, as your body is right, your mind is going to be right, and you're going to find other things to spend your time with.
Yes.
Take out that extra energy that you got going on.
Because that's what happens. When I was at my highest at one point, I was 203 pounds. Oh, God, I used to get up them steps. I lived at Spring Garden. I used to get up them steps. And first of all, I was on the phone with my cousin. I think this is what made it bad. Because I was on the phone with my cousin. She was like, oh, my God, what happened? What happened? I'm like, nothing. Why? She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I got up the steps. It's just like, oh, get up the steps. And she was like, I thought somebody was like chasing you or something. And I'm sitting here like, that's bad. Like my knees would hurt. I had no energy. All I just wanted to do was lay on the couch.
And now with
the weight off, it's like, okay, I feel 1,000 times better. Total energy. You know.
You're moving and shaking.
Moving and shaking.
Like you should be.
Moving and shaking.
So you're working towards that goal to be in your 90s with a mentality of a 40-year-old.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, people. So we will see
yes.
you next
Monday. I was gonna say Sunday. Next Monday.
We'll post what the topic is. If you have any questions or any concerns, you can hit us up on Elevation Radio Facebook page, or you can hit Zarika up as well. What's your Facebook page?
Lindsay MSW LSW.
Slow it down.
Lindsay LINDSCY MSW LSW.
And she will answer them directly. She'll even direct you to places where you can get some help, or if they have some free clinics or what have you, depending on your finances.
Area and your finance, yeah.
She can lead you to the right place where you get help. Remember, seasonal
affective disorder
is real. It's not something that's make pretend. It starts kicking off in October, around after Halloween, and takes you all the way till April. So now that you know, you can either do better or you can stay stuck. And I go for do better.
Do better. Always do better. When you know better, you do better. So now you know.
Amen.
Now you know.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.